Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for another video today. Um, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is really just to kind of help targeted individuals out. Uh, I think what you really need to do is look up these prayers, spiritual warfare prayers. I made lots of videos about it in the past, and the only reason that things started getting real bad for me again is they started mind controlling me to not say the prayers. And I was saying them once or twice a day, and I was living a really good life. I was living a life like most people live that are not being targeted. But the thing that I want to tell you guys is once they have their foot in the door, right, it's hard to get rid of them because they done got their foot in the door. But if you can keep them out, it's a lot, and you need to keep them out. Once you get them out, you got to keep them out. And I'm going to give you some different techniques of how you can do that. But the spiritual warfare prayers are a must. I mean, it is time consuming because to go through all the prayers that Michael Ralph wrote, which is the best prayers that I have found for targeted individuals that are specifically created and made just for the TI, for what the TI is going through. You know, not maybe for what other regular people are going through, because everybody is under some kind of demonic oppression or attack because of this satanic parasitic, network that we're living in right now. Just nobody realizes it. If they could see with their third eye, if they started astral projecting, you would see everything for what it really is. And it's some sick ass shit out there. Let me tell you that. But in the astral, there's dark and there's light. So there's beautiful things and there's dark things. Okay, so it's not all bad. But let me just reiterate. You need the prayers probably take you about 45 minutes to go through the whole thing. It seems time consuming, but really it's so worth it. When you say them, you're gonna feel a huge relief. You're gonna feel better. And they give you directions because a lot of times what they've done is they see the prayers, right, and they see what we're saying, so they set up new attacks that maybe the prayers aren't covering. So that's why it's important that you're always praying and asking for guidance, because God will show you what else to pray for. He'll tell you need to pray for this. You need to pray for this. They're doing this to you, so you need to pray for this. Let me also give you guys an example, okay? I wanted to include this in this video. There's positive voodoo and there's negative voodoo, okay? There's a positive and negative of everything, okay? Whatever you can think of, there's a positive and a negative to it. There's something beneficial that you can get out of it, and there's something detrimental. I know y'all think voodoo, that's bad. Let me explain, okay? Voodoo, okay, all voodoo is something that you're doing every day, okay? So let me give you an example. Whenever you take a shower and you get all the dirt and the negative energy off of you from the water hitting you and soap and hot water, and you're cleaning your body, that's positive voodoo, because you're taking all the dark energy off of your body, like when you take a shower. So that's positive voodoo. Another example I can give you is whenever you create a Mobius coil. If you look up how to create a Mobius coil online, there's videos and stuff on it on YouTube and on the internet. But when you're doing the Mobius coil, right, and you're wrapping the copper wire around the crystal, it's like you're saying, this crystal is me. And I'm wrapping this wire around this crystal, and that configuration that you're doing, that you're making around that crystal, when you're finished, it's like that crystal is you, and then you wrapped that copper wire around it as if you did it to yourself. And that's exactly what happens. Like every time I do a Mobius coil, like any kind of negative energy that's on my body or any kind of attack that has been directed at me, it goes away, because that's positive voodoo. I just did I wrap that crystal in that because I touch that crystal, my DNA's on that crystal, right? It's like me and that crystal have a connection, and whatever I'm doing to that crystal is being done to me. So to go in further, whatever you're touching in your house, and you're putting your DNA and stuff, all on stuff in your house, right? If there's dirt and dust and nasty crap accumulating in your home where you're touching stuff, your bathroom, your toilet, your sink, when all that crap and bacteria and germs and viruses is accumulating on your DNA, that's negative voodoo. You're hurting your DNA because you're not keeping your place clean. You're not keeping your car clean. Your space is not clean, so you're not clean. That's negative voodoo. And a lot of times, what they do to targeted individuals is they put you in such a negative state and they screw with your head and mind control you so much that your house is a mess, your car is a mess. Like, people come into your house and your car, they're like, what the fuck happened here? But they don't understand. I understand. I know what you're going through because they did that shit to me. But it's for your own good, because now I don't live my life that way. Now my room is immaculate. I try to keep my car immaculate. The other day I was out here with a big bucket of hot water and soap and bleach and just killing everything in the car. So that's positive voodoo. When you clean, that's positive voodoo. To go into more positive voodoo, like whenever you create an energetic device, like whenever you create an orgone device, right? When you're putting that device together, and you're putting all your stones and your metals and your minerals and you're mixing it all up together, when you're done and it's curing, that's positive voodoo. Because what you basically just said, what you did is, I'm creating this device, and because your DNA and everything is on what you're touching, now what this device created, the energy that this device created, is now a part of you, and is now a reflection of you, basically. It's positive voodoo. That's why people, if you're a targeted individual, I keep telling people, man, you need to start creating Orgonite. You need to start gifting Orgonite. And people just aren't doing it. And you're suffering. And I know the reason why you're not doing it is because they're mind controlling you not to do it. Because they're scared shitless of people doing it and putting it out and, just even having it. They hate the energy. It raises your vibration. It keeps you in a happier mood. And when people are in a happy mood, that means no food for them. That means they have no food. So that means their time is getting shorter and shorter on the planet. And they're starving right now. They're literally starving because of what's happening in the transition, and everybody's waking up, and the sun's energy, everybody's vibration is rising. So they're starving, and they're freaking the fuck out. That's what's really going on right now. They're freaking the fuck out and they're starving because there's not as much food as they used to have. And it's going to keep getting better and better until they're freaking gone from this planet. But just to let you know, there's a lot of forms of, positive and negative voodoo. And what they, as a targeted individual, what I want to tell you guys, like what they'll do as negative voodoo is, they might take something that belongs to you. They might steal it from you. They might break into your car. They might break into your house. They might take a picture of you. And they will use that to do negative voodoo on you. They will, for example, like when they arrested me, they took stuff out of my car that belonged to me. And I was getting harmed really, really bad energetically. And I couldn't figure out what it was. And then something told me to pray, to ask the relationship to be broken from the things that they took from me when I got arrested, like my organites and crystals, and I had a whole bunch of personal, man, they took, I bought this galactic wand from this guy named Ryan DeRuin on YouTube. I paid like $333 for it, and it was a badass wand that he made for me, and they took that. I had Orgone for customers, like 3 or 4 boxes in my back seat that were like Orgone to go out to customers. They took that. They took materials that I used to make my Orgonite with. And to make a long story short, they're attacking those things, right? Because they belong to me and they have my DNA on it. They're attacking those things to harm me energetically, and not just me, but any future Orgone device that I might create. I figured that out. I'm like, why is something's not right, you know? And then I figured out, and everything can be solved through prayers. That's what's so awesome, is that the dark, the only power they have is through illusion. Once you figure out what they're doing and then you break it, it's over. So I said prayers to break my connection from the things that they stole from me when I got arrested, and also any kind of connection that they might have to my future Orgone devices, so that they won't affect those negatively. Boom, I felt all the attacks stop. Relief like you wouldn't believe. And not only that, they took my laptop, son of a bitches. And you know what they're doing to my laptop? They can do a connection attack through your laptop. So that means they're sitting there over there in their base, or who knows where the fuck they are in CIA, Langley, or wherever the fuck they are. And they're radiating and they're nanoing the shit out of the laptop that they took from me. And they're transferring that attack to the laptop that I'm using. And once I figured that out, I said the prayer, boom, I could use my laptop like a normal fucking person again. But these are the kind of satanic, psychic motherfuckers we're talking about that are psychopaths in our governments. This is the kind of shit they do, like to control people and to keep you under their thumb. They're control freaks, and that's how they do. You know, that's basically what they do. So I also wanted to tell you guys, like, whenever, like, let me give you an example. Like with negative voodoo, right? They can take something, let's say a pencil. They might have broken your house and took a pencil. And they can take that pencil and they can radiate and curse it and nanotech the shit out of it and screw it all up, right? And then they can put that in a certain body part of yours. And to try to break down that body part and kill that body part and to give it some kind of a disease or cancer. You know, usually their biggest thing, what I've seen, like what they've been doing to me is cancer. And that's what I see them doing to so many targeted individuals is cancer. So the reason why I'm telling you this, okay, is everything, you guys, everything that they do to you, right, you can do back to them in a positive way. Okay, so let me give you an example. So they were putting stuff in my body. You won't believe. Let me tell you. Let's just go into it right now, so you know how satanic and psychotic and crazy these motherfuckers are. Okay. I go around everywhere, right? When I first got to Sedona, it wasn't like this. Okay, but everywhere I started putting my Orgonite and gifting my Orgonite. Places that I frequently go, you know, like the grocery stores, convenience stores, washateria, you know, the restaurant, wherever I go get something to eat, there's fucking cigarette butts everywhere. And it's not normal. I'm talking about every fucking where. I mean, every foot I walk, there's like 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 fucking butts, cigarette butts everywhere. And I went by the airport where I had gifted before, and wherever I put my Orgonites, up there on this airport, which, I mean, gets some visitor traffic, but not enough where there's hundreds of fucking cigarette butts everywhere, okay? And there's fucking cigarette butts everywhere where I gifted my Orgonite. And at first, I didn't figure out, like, what was going on, and then it came to me. I'm like, they're doing this shit on purpose because they don't want the Orgonite ether energy getting out, so they're putting these cigarette butts everywhere. And not only are these cigarette butts everywhere, but they're radiating and they're nanoteching those cigarette butts that are everywhere, spreading that shit all across the ground, the surface of the ground, to keep the Orgonite ether from spreading, because once it starts spreading, that's it. And then they can't go to those areas anymore. Wherever these are demonic possessed gang stalkers, Freemasons, Satanists, wherever this energy gets out, they can't go there. So, and they saw what I did in Texas, okay? I took the whole freaking grid down in Texas from the gifting that I did. And it freaked them the hell out. So they kind of learned what I did, and they're trying to counter. They're trying to stop what I'm doing. So let's get in a little bit deeper into this, okay? Not only are they doing that to stop my orgonite from getting out, but they're putting the motherfuckers in my body. They're putting those cigarettes into my body. And once I figured that out and I said prayers to remove them from my body, boom, I felt like 100,000 times better. Like literally the moment that I said the prayer to have the cigarettes removed from my body, the area around my lungs where they were attacking completely cleared. It completely freaking cleared, and I felt like 100,000 times better. And I just want to let you know that I'm only alive through the grace of God. That is the only way that I am alive, is through the grace of God. God keeps me alive. There's nobody that could have all these thousands of cigarette butts in their body, right? And not only are they're nanoteching and they're radiating them, so that means when they're in my body, those cigarettes that they're putting in my body are being nanoteched and radiated. Nobody on earth could have all these thousands of cigarette butts. If you come to freaking Sedona, you will see they're fucking everywhere. There's no way that they would be able to be alive. It's just not possible. And not only that, then I started noticing, like when I was throwing stuff away, like when I got close to trash cans, I felt like heavy attacks. Like when I got close to trash cans, I'm like, how come when I get close to trash cans, I'm feeling these heavy attacks? So not only are they putting the cigarettes in my body, God knows what else that they've stolen from me, and this shit's in my body. The stuff that's just in my house or in my car that they're radiating, and like for example my keys, they're radiating the shit out of my keys and they're putting those into my body. Then they're also radiating the fucking garbage cans, nanoteching this they're anything that's filthy and disgusting, they're radiating this shit out of it, nanoteching the shit out of it and putting it into my body. And not only that, but the fucking sewage system. They're radiating this shit out of the sewage system and nanoteching the sewage system, and they're putting that in my body. You won't believe it. You won't believe if anybody was having this stuff done to their body, there's no way that they would even be alive. The only reason I'm alive is through the grace of God, and it's because I keep doing what I was sent to do, and I'm protected. You know, they can do things to harm me energetically and stuff. And really, I think the reason God lets it happen is just for me to learn lessons from it. And to kind of try to teach you guys, like what I'm doing right now, like teaching you what they're doing to me and how I'm counteracting it. It's through prayer. And not only that, but just like they're doing this, right? And they're putting all this evil stuff in my body to try to give me cancer, disease, and kill me and shit. You can do the same thing to them, but what I would recommend you do is in a positive, love, and light manner. I wouldn't say do the same thing that they're doing to you to them, because it kind of makes you like them. But, you know, who knows? I mean, do whatever you want. But let me give you an examples of how you can undo all the damage they've done to you if they're doing shit like they're doing to me to you. Go online and find you pictures of orgonite, right? And then what you can do is, just like they put negative stuff in your body, you can put positive things into their body, and it'll undo the attack. Like, for example, copper orgonite earth pipes. They're super powerful, and they're one of the New World Order, satanic, Illuminati, luminary, U.S. government, dark cabals, fucking worst fear. They fucking hate them. Okay, so wherever they're attacking you, go get you a picture online, copper orgonite earth pipe, or any kind of orgonite device that you want, or copper tensor rings, or harmonizers, you know, any kind of positive energy device. Let's say they're attacking your liver, or your lungs, or wherever, I don't know, kidney, whatever they're attacking. Put that into their body. Just say, you know, in the name of the I am that I am, I put this device in this attacker's organs that are attacking me, and I command that it fill them with positive life force energy, violet flames, sacred fires of purification, and return the attack that's being sent to my organs back to them 800,000 decillion fold. You know, that's just an example. But in Jesus' name I pray, man. And whatever they're doing to you, right? All you have to do if they're attacking a certain part of your body part, is put the Orgonite device, whatever, the tensor ring, put it into their part of their body. And it'll undo the attack. It'll undo all, I mean, literally, they could have been attacking you all week. And when you did this, within a second, the attack will be gone. That's how quick it is. That's how quick it is. So you can do anything they're doing to you guys, you can do back to them. That's the awesome thing about spiritual warfare, is they're going to do stuff, but we're not powerless. We're more powerful because we're not doing nothing wrong to other people. Okay, we're just trying to defend ourselves. Okay, they're the ones that always lose because they don't respect universal laws. They don't respect life. They're murdering psychopath killers, and cowards. And cowards. What do you know about cowards? Cowards always lose. They always lose. I mean, how many movies have you seen? How many stories have you heard in the Bible? Cowards always lose, and that's all they are. They're cowards. They do everything behind doors. You know, they're hidden. They're secretive. They don't want the people of the earth to know about them. They don't want to know that the whole government is controlled by Satanists and the elite and, you know, satanic forces. Everything they do is they only can get away with what they do because nobody knows. But people are waking up, and more people are waking up all the time. And soon everybody's going to know. And they're going to drag these motherfuckers out their homes and shoot them dead in the street. I promise you, that's what's going to happen, because people are going to be pissed. People are going to be pissed, man. Once everybody figures out like what's been going on and what's going on, and they've been eating babies and they're torturing people and they're killing animals and pets and torturing animals, and man, once people figure it out, man, they're going to pull these Satanist dogs and these gang stalkers and all these people, they're going to pull them straight out their houses, and they're going to pull them out in the street and beat the shit out of them and kill them. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. That's what always happens. If you look through history, like, it's just basically karma. You know, it's like they do a whole bunch of negative shit to people, and they think that they can get away with it, but eventually karma catches up with them, and people get pissed. You know, it always happens. You can't get away from justice. You can't get away with karma. You just can't. The Creator didn't set it up for them to come and kill and murder all of us and get away with it. You know, the Creator didn't set things up like that. The Creator set things up, balance, okay, balance. Okay, you want to do that stuff, you have the free will, right, to do these things that you want to do to people. You want to do this disgusting shit, okay. You have that free will to do that, but just understand that the world and the creation is set up through karma, and eventually it'll catch up with you. It may not be you, but maybe it'll be your kids. It will eventually catch up with you, one way or the other. So, with all that being said, I wanted to explain to you guys about the positive and the negative voodoo. I wanted to tell you, keep saying, I'll even post under the description, depending on how bad you're being attacked. If you're being attacked real bad, you need to say these prayers twice a day. And start doing positive voodoo, okay? Positive voodoo is keeping your place clean. Positive voodoo is trying to have positive thoughts. Positive voodoo is, you know, like if you have Orgonite, let me give you an example of another thing of positive voodoo. I got about 3 minutes left here. Positive, like let's say if you had an Orgonite tower buster, right? And let's say your water, your shampoo, your bleach, whatever you might use to clean your house with or whatever, whenever you place, let's say if you had a bottle of palm olive soap and you placed it on top of your tower buster, which is like a little Orgonite device, what that's doing is it's sending that positive ether energy into your soap, getting rid of all the negative energies that are in the soap, right? Making it real good and healthy for you. That's positive voodoo. And let me tell you how deep it goes. Is that palm olive you bought at the store is connected to all the other palm olives at the store. So when you positive ether that positive ether doesn't just get into your palm olive that you have there in your house, but it gets into all the palm olives at the store that you bought. And not just at all the palm olives at the store that you bought, but all the palm olives that were made from the factory. The ether is getting into all of them. That's how all things are connected. So, not only are you benefiting from now using this positive energy soap, but whoever bought palm olive soap is also getting that positive voodoo from what you did. So, with long story being short, is another way of great positive voodoo is positively charge all the things you use every day. Your water, your soaps, your bleach, your shampoos, your conditioners, your motor oil. You know, all you do is you just put a couple of tower busters on the ground, you put whatever you're trying to charge up on it, and let it charge for at least a day before you use it. And then use it. And it's a great way of spreading positive ether energy all throughout the earth and throughout the universe, because all things are connected. All things are connected. You know, when you positive ether your soap, and then somebody else has that soap and they're using that soap, their body's getting positive ethered. And because we're all connected, all of our bodies are getting positive ether. That's how it works. So start positive ethering through Orgonite, tower busters, or charging plates, or whatever you want to use, pyramids. Start doing that. All right, you guys, I'm just about out of time here. I'm gonna include the prayers for you in the description. So if you're a targeted individual, and even if you're not, I would highly recommend you start saying them. You can earn your freedom through those prayers, and God will teach you what else to pray for. Like if there might be doing something that's not included in the prayers, He'll teach you. And another real important thing, you guys, is look at the makeup of the prayers. Understand like what Ralph is trying to do. The main thing is you bind the strong man. The strong man is like the big demon over an attack. Then after you bind him and throw him off his throne, then you bind the subordinates, the demons that are under him. And then you cancel out all their attacks. And it's a method of spiritual